Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm coming to you with a Snoke video. We're talking about Snoke and some of the theories that go along with him. There is a ton of them, and I have not made a video about this up until now, mostly because of the fact that there are so many of them out there, and you probably heard it all. Everything ranging from Snoke is Plagueis, or that he's been kept alive in a bacta tank somewhere, or that he's actually a reincarnation of Palpatine, which was actually alluded to a little bit in one of the most recent books, but kind of squashed. And I've even heard something as crazy as that he's Darth Vader risen from the dead, and people have gone so far as to try to match up the scars on his head, and I think that's just a little bit too obvious, and it would just kind of do a disservice to the way Vader met his end. I don't really like any of those. I've really seen one that really spoke to me, though, and if you haven't seen, it's worth checking out because there's a lot of research into this one. And the basic idea is that that Snoke is Mace Windu, and that he didn't actually die in Episode 3. So that's, and I really like this theory, and I've entertained it quite a bit, although I don't actually agree with it at this point, but it has some merits, so it still could be true, even though I don't agree with it. And basically the idea is, there's been a lot of things that have come out over time to kind of emphasize this. First off, we know that Jedi can fall great heights and survive. We know that getting a hand sliced off doesn't kill a Jedi. And we also know that getting hit with Force lightning doesn't kill a Jedi either. Although all three of those together certainly would hurt a Jedi. But Mace Windu was probably one of the most powerful Jedi in existence at this point, so it stands to reason he could easily survive all of these three. Lesser Jedi have survived things similar and, managed to walk away from it. So Sam Jackson has even stated that he thinks that, Mace Windu is still alive, that he did not die in that fall. So there is also that coming forward. Another thing that says, that he might actually be Mace Windu, that Snoke might actually be Mace Windu, is some of the fighting styles that Mace Windu demonstrated. Kylo Ren uses a similar move, and they've even said that it's possible that, Mace Windu's estranged son could actually be Finn, and that's why Kylo Ren is kind of instructed to keep an eye on Finn, and that's why he pays such attention to him when he betrays, and that's why he's so upset when he finally confronts him and shouts traitor with ferocity. It's more than him just betraying the First Order. Kylo Ren was supposed to keep an eye on him and keep him out of trouble. So not only did he betray the First Order, Kylo Ren's gonna get yelled at for, Finn, you had one job, you were supposed to watch my son, So it's a very compelling theory, and it's very, very interesting. I don't completely agree with it. I'm not totally on board with it. Primarily because some new information just recently came out in the latest book, Empire's End. So at this point, I'm going to talk about this Chuck Wendig trilogy of books, this Aftermath trilogy, and the latest one, Empire's End. So if you don't want, there'll be minor spoilers here. I'm not going to get into anything majorly spoilery, but I'm going to talk about some minor spoilers. So just a little warning, you may want to stop here if you don't want to go any further. The idea here is that that they go out into the outer regions. Palpatine, it's talked about that Palpatine sensed a presence in the unknown regions, a dark side presence. It was an extremely powerful dark side presence, but it was so far away that only Palpatine could sense it. According to what is basically being told in this book, that not even Darth Vader sensed the dark side presence that was out there. But Palpatine believed it to be extremely powerful and extremely potent. Now, what he intended to do, whether he wanted to learn from it, destroy it, use it as a weapon, is not clear. It's not clear if this dark side presence was an item or a person or what it is. And I believe they deliberately left it open-ended. One theory that I have is maybe this dark side presence was Snoke. I don't think it is, but it's certainly possible that Snoke could be the dark side presence that Palpatine felt. Maybe someone to rival Palpatine or even beat him. But I think what's more likely is that Snoke is not this dark side presence, but that he is familiar with it. Snoke will be a gateway into this dark side presence, whether it is an obelisk, a temple, a collection of spirits, of past dark side users who've gone to some type of Valhalla, or maybe just a planet of pure evil. I think this dark side presence is going to be the big bad for the future of Star Wars in the timeline moving forward from this trilogy. I don't think we're going to destroy this dark side presence either. I think that this dark side presence, if I were to make an analogy, I would say this new dark side presence is the Emperor, and Snoke is simply Darth Vader, a disciple of this dark side presence. I think this dark side presence is not going to be vanquished because of the future of Star Wars. Disney's got more movies to make, and they've only planned out for a few more years, at least publicly planned out for a few more years. I don't believe for a second that Episode 9 will be the last Star Wars film in the primary timeline. I will accept potentially that it may be the last saga film for a while. It may be the last Skywalker-based film. But I don't, at least for a while, but I don't think it's the end of the story of Star Wars. It is entirely possible to me that they will take the story forward in future years and and if you're going to take the story forward, you need an antagonist. And this incredible dark side presence that's so far away is good enough antagonist that it won't be such a threat that it's going to destroy the galaxy, but it will be a significant enough threat to periodically send out agents for whoever our heroes happen to be to fight. This could be the new Jedi Academy, has a Monster of the Week villain that's sent from the unknown regions and a new, a dark side user to come in and, attack our heroes or to try to cause some problems, periodically sent out. I think that is more likely the business answer, because that sets a future for the franchise. And but I also believe we need a payoff. So that's why I think Snoke is going to potentially meet his end by the end of this new trilogy, but not the entire dark side presence that Palpatine felt. So my theory is that Snoke is connected to, or even part of, a dark side presence from the outer regions that would make him a all-new character. But let me know what you think. Do you think that Snoke is an all-new character? Do you think he's an unknown race? Do you think he's something all new? Or do you think he's Mace Windu? Or do you even think that maybe he's a race we've already seen close to the unknown regions? We have the Chiss, right, where Thrawn came from. So maybe he's a Chiss. Don't forget, his hologram left out color. Right? So maybe the color being left out was deliberate, because if he had blue skin, maybe that would have been a giveaway as to who he might be or where he comes from. And they didn't want you to be able to see. Usually in holograms, you don't really see too much of the color of some. Some of them you do, but a lot of them are very kind of grayed out or blued out or, kind of monotone. So he could be a Chiss. I don't think he's a Chiss, but it's certainly possible, or maybe something like that. But I think he's an all-new character. But let me know what you think, guys. And if you're interested in the Chiss, make sure you check out these other videos I've got. I've got a Thrawn video talking about where I think the future of Thrawn is going. Check out my Mara Jade video. And you can also check out why I think Ezra is not going to die in Star Wars Rebels and why he will go forward. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave a comment and like this video. And you guys take it easy. Have a wonderful day. And thank you so much for watching.